Welcome to Hustlin' Faith. This podcast is dedicated to helping women who want to analyze, apply, and amplify their God-given gifts. We accomplish this by discussing topics such as business, self-improvement, health and beauty, and my random thoughts about life from a Christian perspective. I'm your host, Latasha Johnson. Have you been feeling called to create more, but you're not sure where to start? You don't need a big budget, a team, or perfect confidence. You need clarity, a simple system, and the courage to use your voice. Join me for Activate Your Calling, Create, Build, and Promote What God Gave You, a free live workshop for faith-based women ready to stop sitting on their ideas and start showing up. You'll learn the foundations of marketing, content creation, AI, self-publishing, and podcasting. No tech background is required. So join me on Saturday, February 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern. Bring your ideas, leave with clarity. Register now and save your seat. I'll see you there. If you're ambitious, driven, and used to carrying everything yourself, there's a powerful leadership lesson in Exodus chapter 18 that I think a lot of us could use right now. And so this is the chapter where Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, quietly watches how Moses is leading the people and realizes something that Moses himself cannot see. What Moses was doing was not sustainable. And so at this point, people are coming to Moses all day long to resolve their disputes and problems. Again, think of him as a judge, right? And so from morning until evening, Moses is the bottleneck, and he's the only person handling all of, settling all of the disputes. And so Jethro, being wise, pulls Moses aside and says, hey, listen, what you're doing is not good. You will surely wear yourself out. Not because Moses lacked heart, not because Moses lacked capability, but because no one was meant to do everything alone. And so there's quite a few different insights that we can learn from this lesson. And so number one, burnout can hide, behind good intentions, okay? Again, burnout can hide behind good intentions because Moses had a genuine desire to serve, but he was willing, he was actually willing to stand there all day to make sure that he was in a position to help everyone, right? But good intentions doesn't make unsustainable systems sustainable, right? And that's something that I've learned as I've gotten older. Time is a scarce resource and energy is limited. I know, because by the end of the day, I end up feeling like the Energizer Bunny, like my battery just wanes. And so even if you want to do it all, you simply just cannot do it. And I know this personally. I'm very ambitious, totally type A. And, I do like to be in control of a situation. And I like to excel at whatever it is that I do. And still, I can't do it all. And I know that. So another thing that we can learn is, gatekeeping is not leadership. Gatekeeping is not leadership. I feel some people need to hear that one twice, okay? Jethro doesn't tell Moses to stop serving. He tells Moses to train other people, delegate, equip them, teach them. And see, that's why I've never believed in gatekeeping. When someone comes to me with a problem, my instinct is to literally tell them everything that I know about that particular subject, because I'm big on, if you teach someone how to fish, then they can go and feed someone else, right? That's where real impact takes place. And, just a side note, I feel like we don't have enough of that in today's society, and hence why you see all this chaos. Insight number 3, blind spots are real. And so what struck me most about this passage is how obvious the problem was to everyone else except Moses. Sometimes you are too close to your own life to see what isn't working. So that's, where that whole saying, you can't see the forest through the trees saying kind of came about. And that's why community matters, okay? Community is incredibly important. And so I'm incredibly blessed to have my mom, because she will lovingly and forcefully tell me, hey, Tasha, that doesn't make sense, or you might want to reevaluate that. And I realized that not everyone has that built-in kind of, sounding board in their life. And so, to be quite honest, that's one of the reasons why I'm creating the Faith to Launch community, because I truly believe that everyone deserves a space where someone can help you see your blind spots. You're not building alone. You're encouraged and you're challenged, and wisdom is shared, not hoarded, right? So if that resonates with you and you want to learn more about the Faith to Launch community, check out the description below. I'll leave a link there. Another thing that we can learn from this situation is Moses was receptive to correction, and that is huge. And yes, discernment matters, okay? Because not everyone deserves access to your decisions, but Moses respected Jethro, and because of that, he listened. And sometimes we stall in life, not because we lack information, but because we refuse to hear it, right? And last but not least, obedience requires action. So Moses didn't just nod at Jethro and say, you know what, Jethro, that's a good idea, and then just continue on doing the same thing he's been doing, right? Which was standing there settling disputes all day long. No, he took Jethro's suggestions and he actually implemented them in real time, immediately, right? So many of us pray for clarity. We receive the clarity, and then we just sit there and debate about whether or not we should act on said clarity. Doesn't make sense, right? So we miss the blessings, not because God didn't speak, but because we chose not to move. And so if you're tired, you're overwhelmed, you're stretched too thin, I want you to ask yourself these questions, all right? Where am I trying to carry a load that was never meant to carry alone, right? Who has God placed around me to help me see what I cannot see? And then last but not least, what instruction have I received that I still haven't acted on? So I want to encourage you to take another look at Exodus chapter 18, because there's so much wisdom there for leaders, creators, builders, and believers. And I want you to always remember that you were never meant to do it all alone. You are meant to steward what God put on your plate well. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, God, I thought I'd be farther along than this? Maybe you're single, maybe you're rebuilding, maybe life hasn't gone the way you planned. Let me remind you of a truth most people won't say out loud. Your life does not start when a relationship begins, your purpose doesn't wait on a ring, and your calling doesn't need permission from anyone but God. And that's exactly why I wrote How to Live an Extraordinary Life with or Without Mr. Right. This isn't another book telling you to sit still and wait. It's a roadmap for becoming the woman God created you to be. In your joy, in your purpose, in your gifts, in your confidence. Inside, you're going to learn how to hear God's voice above the noise, build a life that excites you, break free from comparison and timelines, and walk boldly, knowing you are already whole. You are not behind, you are not forgotten, you are becoming. Grab your copy today and let's build the extraordinary life God designed for you. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoy listening to Hustle and Faith and would like to support the show, please consider sharing it with your friends, rate or leave a review, donate, or make a purchase at our shop, STARENGUCREW. Remember, if you're everything to everyone, you risk being no one. You never know who you will inspire. See you in the next episode.